Welcome to Jankowski Speed and Off-Road, where today I'm going to attempt to build AC for my daughter's 66 Nova Stroller. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? If you subscribe, you're going to see me do a lot of stupid stuff like this. So let's go! So some of you might have seen this. I built it in August of 24. Currently, it's the end of December of 24. I have it in some shorts and some on YouTube and some reels on Instagram. But I thought I'd actually make some videos on this because there's a lot of people asking questions on how all this stuff works. And yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add AC to this because it was hot last summer and I don't want my daughter to get hot. I think what I'm going to do is put it under the hood here. It's all nice and open. Still haven't painted the frame yet, but there's a lot of modifications I have to do. But I think I'm going to put it down in here and then have it come out, you know, like vents on either side to kind of help keep her cool. I don't expect it to work super amazing, but it should be better. And then I can finally modify this hood. Right now it's just package tape onto the car. So I have some stuff I'm actually going to do, like stack injection out of the hood. And then we're actually going to paint this thing. That'll be in a future video. But let's go over what I have. Okay, so here's some of the stuff I have to do this. I'm probably going to have to run around and get a bunch of other stuff for it. We have a cooler. This isn't the one I'm going to use, but this is basically what I'm going to use for it. I don't want to cut this one up. It's kind of nice. So I might just order a cheapie off of Amazon or something. We have a 12 volt DC pump for running it's for cooling a computer. Along with this little radiator, which is the same thing. It's to, like water cool a computer or a gaming system or something. Use that as the evaporator essentially. And fan, computer fan, that'll just stack right on top of there. An adapter for a Milwaukee M12. And of course you have the M12 battery. A bunch of fittings, hose. Got a roll of this adhesive insulation just to kind of insulate everything. Some rods to weld the aluminum together. I'm going to build a box for it out of aluminum, and it's obviously going to have water running into it. When this gets cold enough, it'll condense water, and it'll also act as like the ductwork to run it into the car. And then I'm going to couple it to the cooler with just air chucks. Essentially, it's just going to go on the side of the cooler. Then you can quick disconnect it. So yeah, so it'll just run, there'll be ice water in this, and it'll pump it through that to that evaporator and blow across it, and it should be cold air. So let's work on it. Hey, before I forget, I'm going to put an Amazon link in the description for this pump, adapter, M12 battery, this little radiator, and the fan. The rest of this stuff's from like the hardware store. You can probably find that anywhere. Just in case you want to try do something like this. And you can if you want, but you don't have to. Or you can just watch and see me screw this up. All right, let's get back to it. All right, we're gonna start figuring out how to make this box for the for this fan and coil to sit on. I have the car sitting there. I put a piece of tape across because that's as high as it can go. That's about 5 inches. I'm going to shoot for actually below 4 inches. So we're going to figure out how we're going to do this. So we're going to call that 3.5 inches wide at the top. It's actually 4 3/4, but the way I'm going to mount this down, it's got to be a little different. I'm going to have it flanged out. Yeah, we'll call it that. 3.5. 3.5 wide. 7 inches. Yeah, we'll call it 7 inches long. And with this stacked, that's probably, I'm guessing 2 inches. Yep, that's 2 inches. So it leaves me 2 inches on the box, which is actually, I could probably get by with 1.5 inches. That'll keep, this fan really doesn't blow very well. So if I make the area that that's blowing into smaller, that might bring the velocity up a little more. This is probably going to take a little figuring out. Probably just going to switch to, you know, a montage or whatever you want to call it. Okay, that's my mock-up. I don't know if I really needed to do that, but it makes me feel better. So that'll just sit on there, and the fan will sit on top of that. And then, yeah, it'll blow out of this end. I don't know if I'm going to come out the front or the top. Yeah, now I just have to transfer this to the aluminum. Start tracing this thing out. I grab a bucket to sit on. This table's just a little too low. Just looking at all the bends I need to make, and I don't have a brake at the moment, so I'm just going to have to make it happen. I guess in all reality I can just trace it for now. And put the lines in. Sure. That looks fun to cut out. I'm just going to cut it out close and then go in there and fine tune it. Okay, now I have to make all this fit together somehow. It's kind of ugly, but hopefully it'll work. Well, this is where I'm gonna find out if I mess up here. All this work goes for nothing, so I'll try this out. I never do this. I was thinking of doing it out of copper, but I decided, oh, that's gonna corrode. I'm gonna do it out of aluminum. Well, let's try it. actually gotten it. And yes, I know, heat the heat the metal, not the rod or the aluminum. Tell you what, doing this is way more annoying than soldering. Yeah, I could see some holes. I'll have to touch it up a little bit. Well, here's what I have so far. This is that box that I built. And then this is that radiator. And that sandwiched in between a computer fan. I just mounted it. You can see how good of a job I drilled those holes out. It lined right up. Then yeah, this is actually like electrical conduit, like Liquidite stuff. This is supposed to go to, this usually has a nut on it and goes to like a flexible whip for, you know, wiring. They worked really well for running the tubing for airflow. I used like fittings like this, and they actually killed the airflow, killed the CFM on it. Barely anything was coming out of the end of anything. So that's what I'm using that for. And then I have a speed controller. Fairly certain I have it wired right. And then my M12 battery deal there. And if we turn the power on, fan comes on, it's on really low. And you can speed it up. That actually blew some stuff off the table. But yeah, it moves a lot of air. It's obviously very loud when it's on high. It actually moves a lot of air on low too. You can barely hear the thing run. So yeah, and then all this will get wrapped in foam to keep it from condensing. I still need to add a drain to the bottom because this will condense and drip into that pan. All right, the cooler came in. This is what we're going to be using on here. I'm just going to pop that open. What I'm going to do is drill a hole in either side, and I'm going to put these bungs in here. And this will actually be where the water comes in and comes out. I'll have one on either side with a quick connect on it. So we're going to get this marked out so we can drill some holes in it. Got one hole. These are probably going to sit kind of snug in here. Yeah. I didn't have the exact size, so I'm going to have to ream it out a little bit. All right, so we have our fittings here. This is like a 1/2 inch 90, male and female. 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch bushing, and this is a 1/2 inch. This is all pipe thread, 1/2 inch bung here. So, and all this stuff's gonna have to be Teflon taped or pipe dope or however you feel like doing it. We'll put the bushing in the female end here. I'm gonna spin the male end in here This is just a mock-up. And then this is that air chuck fitting. And it's aluminum. It will essentially go like that. And then that'll be hooked to your water lines on the car. And you just plug it in. And when you take it off, technically that should seal. And when you hook it up, we'll have one on this side, and we'll have one going in the other side. And yeah, should just flow that ice water through there. So there it is. One side done. Focus in on that. Yeah. Now just to do the other side. All right, guys and gals, this is the moment we've finally been waiting for. I'm going to test this thing out. It is 72 in here. Currently outside right now it's like 23. We have this deal all set up. I don't have it installed in the car yet because it's the body still has to come off. So I need to paint it. Frame, I still have to do some welding to it, so I don't want to mount anything to it yet. But I do have it in place. I have that unit running right now. And yeah, I just ran it through some clear vinyl tubing. And yeah, the long sweeps on these electrical fittings, or these, you know, whatever they are, the liquid tight fittings, kind of help the air move. When you use just like 90s, they kind of, the air doesn't flow very well. Right now there's air coming out. I have them coming out of these. I put little restrictors on them to get the airflow to come through. And wherever my thermometer went, oh, right there, not this one. We're going to use a digital one. So the water we're running in there right now, I didn't have any ice, so I threw some snow in it and an ice pack. It's running like 34 degrees or so. I'm just going to kind of move this around a little bit. But yeah, we'll see what we're getting out of the vent here. So I just have it stuck in the end. And we're running right around 39 degrees. So that's not too bad. I know it's 72 in here. It's not like 100 degrees out, but I'd say that's working really good. The other thing to test here, the cool thing about this is it can shut this valve on here, then pop it off, and that thing's still full of water. Nothing is coming out. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Then yeah, just pop it on. Turn this on, and you have flow again. Well, I hope you guys like this project. I know it's not real AC, but it's also not a swamp cooler. It's actually cool, dry air. Um, and obviously there's a lot of stuff I need to finish up on it. Everything needs to be insulated. There's no insulation on anything, nothing on the lines, pump, any of that. So I was losing a bit of coolness from that. Yeah, like I said before, I need to finish up a bunch of stuff on the frame. Body has to come off, and I have to do body work and paint on it, which will be in another video. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, um, that's really about it there. I mean, it'll be better than nothing. And then I'll put a link in the description for the Amazon store where I'll have most of the stuff that I used to build that if anybody wants to attempt something similar. Obviously, I don't have everything on there. I've ran to Menards probably 20 times, and I still need more stuff. But yeah, I'll have that up there, and obviously, if anybody buys anything off of it, I'll make a small commission at no cost to you. That'll help me build more projects like this and hopefully entertain you guys. Yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and please like and subscribe.